Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm just sorting my microphone. I think I've just broken it. No, I haven't. There you go. Sorry, just sorting out my microphone. How you all doing? It's Saturday. I have had a super busy morning. I'm telling you, it has been mega busy, and I've got so much stuff I want to get done today. I wasn't going to go live today, but I've gone live today with ulterior motives. And my ulterior motive is that I'm hoping Carapos is live today because I was testing out Bricks Builder and it's come to a standstill. I was testing out Bricks Builder because people keep asking about it, so I thought let me do a comparison with Elementor, even though I'm not really showing Elementor. How do I find Bricks Builder? Hey Peter. And the Bricks Builder, so I'm waiting for Carapos to turn up, hopefully, because I was testing it out and I've hit a brick wall. I've hit a brick wall with it. So, hey John, so something is not right with, I don't know if it's me or Bricks Builder, but something which is very, very basic is not working. And I just cannot get my head worked around with that. I've been very busy today, Eddie. I wasn't going to go live today. Hey Artif, I wasn't going to go live today. To be honest, John, I don't think the videos are going to help at all because what I'm doing shouldn't be that difficult. And I'll clarify in a moment what I'm doing. In fact, I'll show it off in a moment. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me show you what I am doing. Let me show you what I'm doing. So let me show you then, okay? Let me show you because there's obviously a bit of interest going on here. So over here, we have a container or a section almost. I wonder if it's because I'm in a section. I don't know. Anyway, and I have two headings, right? I have two headings. Can you see there's a gap in between them? Hey, Mamesla, there's a gap in between them, right? If I go to this section, right, and I go to the content bit, this is set as a row. This is also set to wrap. And the alignment is center, and it's on start. Right? But forget what these ones do down here. There's a gap here, which makes no sense to me why there's a gap. There should not be a gap there. Because these items are wrapping, they should technically be doing that. Right? Oh, hold on. Maybe it is this. Do you know what? I think I've answered my question. No, it's row. It's meant to be set as a row, like that, okay? And when you wrap it, this happens. This massive gap appears, which makes no sense whatsoever because it is center and center. It is not space between or stretch or anything like that. These items should be basically centered, and I can't work out what it is. Because that is not following the logic of containers for me. These two items should be directly underneath one another. So this heading, okay, if I go to style, let me just set this to be 60%. Let me do the same. In fact, let me get rid of this one. Delete. Let me now just duplicate this one here. That space. Hey, Richard. That space. Well, no, I've already done that, Eddie. So if you take off the wrap, it will work. It technically starts to work in a way. But I need it to wrap because I am going to replicate something I did in Elementor. Oh, are you thinking it's the... no, it does the same thing. It does the same thing. Like, look, if you do that, look, can you see that? It's creating this extra space, which does not make sense to me. Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. Hey, Carapos! Right, Carapos. Right, let me show you what the problem is, right? Now, this is what I'm wondering. Is it because it has to have a container within there? Now, Eddie, what Eddie has said is where my head was going, and I was trying to get my head around it. Okay, so at the moment, I have a section, and I have 2 headers. And even though this is wrapped, and everything is centered, I'm getting a gap. Is it because you have to still have a container within? So if I do that, and I put these items in, like that, is that the reason why? Yeah, but there's no space between. There's no space between. Look, there's no space between. So let's try it with the container then, right? Let's try the container. We have the wrap. We have the wrap on there. We'll have it centered. You know what? It was the container. It was the container. So because, can you see over here? I did not have the container, right? I had this in the section. That's what the problem was. That is what the problem was. That's literally it. We're done. That's it. That's literally it. It's because I did not have a container here. I had everything sat. So look, if I do this, you get a gap. If I stick them into the container like that. Oh, no, that didn't work. What have I done now? Oh dear, I've done that bit wrong. Hold on. Let me put that back to how it was meant to be. There you go. Now it works. That's what it was, everyone. So I'm playing around with bricks. I was playing around with bricks. And I didn't put in a container. So I had a section but without a container. There you go. That was the live chat video. See you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. We will... So basically what I have to do is once we finish the live chat, I have to... continue my video. Is Brick's container good? A little bit fiddly in a few places, but it's not that scary to work with, if I'm honest. It's not that scary to work with. No, it's not the end of the stream, John. Well, it's up to you. Do you guys want me to stick around for another 30 minutes or so? I have got so much to do today. Loads of stuff. Why am I working with bricks? Easy, Peter. Easy. I've got a license, number one. Number two, many people have in the live chat or privately said, have you tested bricks? What do you think? So I wanted to kind of do a test, but the key bit really was... The key bit is, how does it compare to an Elementor website? So this website has no optimization plugins. It's just got bricks. I got another website that has no optimization and just Elementor Pro. So when I build very similar header hero banner, what scores do I get? When I test them both at the same time, boom, 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 what scores do I get? And is this as good as what it says it is in terms of that? So I want to just kind of replicate something I did with Elementor. Look, guys, it's going to take something really special to take me away from Elementor, because I can just jump in and go and just get on with things at lightning speed, right? With bricks, I had to stop and think. And there's a few things with bricks that have got me a little bit, like, perplexed. So, for instance, in bricks, you can do a... a global widget, not global widget. So for your elements, or whatever they call them, you can set your colors and your typography, right? And all of that. You can do all of this stuff. The trouble is, though, that if I set, say, for the nav menu, I say, right, globally it's blue and size 16 pixel for the font. When you then add a widget on, it has those colors and styles. But if I then click it and go, actually, for this particular widget, I want it to be a white color, it won't change because the global color overrides it. So in a way, you got to go back in and remove the color or modify it. And what would have been nice is if they allowed you to... what would have been nice, though, is if you were allowed to set a global color for buttons, but on the fly, you could change it. That would have been good. To be honest, Eddie, I have to do that with Elementor as well. Eddie, I don't have SG Optimizer. I still have to kind of do the whole mem cache and all of that. I still have to flush it even with Elementor. So it's not a Bricks problem. That's not a Bricks problem. To be honest, Artif, that's how I feel. So I just want to see, is it good? But having to learn a different way of doing things is a little bit unsettling for me. It just is a little... I'm in Artif's camp. Yeah, so Carapos, the whole class for styling. Where I'm coming from, though, Carapos, is... and I respect what you're saying, by the way, is if you imagine you've got someone who's... You know, like, say someone's building a website and they don't fully get classes... They're going to get stuck with that bit. But please don't forget to click like. Hey Imran, how you doing? Yeah, to be honest, Eddie, I use Auto-Optimize or other stuff, and I do find sometimes I still have to flush the cache on SiteGround when I've done something with Elementor. So don't be surprised if you find the problem occurs again. So it's not all just, it's not, you know, it's not all just bricks. Hey, Zanti, how you doing? I can't believe this. I was sat there, right, for like 20 minutes going, how have I got this problem with Bricks Builder? Why is it not wrapping? And I can't believe it was literally just, I had to drag a container in. That is funny to an extent. That is kind of funny. All right, that's a little bit humorous. I have to be honest. That is a little bit humorous. It's not really humorous, but hey. I suppose that's just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, don't be surprised, Eddie. It happens with Elementor as well. Quite a lot on some websites, and I'm never sure why. And they're with SiteGround, and I got to flush the cache, the server cache, the M cache, and all of that. Yes, I was playing with bricks today. First impressions? You're probably going to need, I would say, a good hour or two just to study where things are and get used to the fact that you don't have like the advanced tab and the layout. I tell you the one thing I don't like. I don't like this about bricks, all right? And this is me being honest. I don't like this. I don't like the way that you don't always get the full size of the screen. So let's say if I set this now to be a 1200 width screen, right? It is 84% of the screen size. Right, I'm not liking that. In fact, I need to go to container and make sure this is a stretch. There we go. Right, I'm not liking that you're not seeing the full size of the screen. That perplexes me. So, you know, when you bring the structure in, you can almost say like, but now you can see the full screen because it shrinks everything. But you might put your image in and go, oh, the image is too big, and you make it small. The minute you go to preview, you go, oh no, the image is too big now, or whatever. So I need to save this, don't I? There we go. Just refresh that page like that. Ding, 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 ding. Whoa, what am I doing here? Preview. Oh, hold on. What have I not done there? Let me just check the layout here. Stretch, container. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I forgot to do something there. I forgot to stretch it. That's the other thing as well, stretching as well. All of that. You got to. There's a few things you have to think about as you're building, I have to be honest. So things that you would have kind of have done just normally, you now have to think a bit. But you can get your head around it. No, Carapos, that is true. It is because it's a MacBook. But even then, I did find that whole percentage thing a little bit like, but it's a small bug. It's a small bug, by the way, all right? It's a small big. So what Peter said is kind of where my thoughts go. I know it's easier for me to explain Elementor to someone, whereas with... Exactly, Zanti, what you said as well. But I find that with bricks, I think if you were handing over to a client, it would have to be someone who's a little bit more adept with understanding structure and things. I feel like with Elementor, I can hand it off to just anyone, like anyone, and they'll get on with it. You know? But I do think there's a few things you have to just stop and think a bit. Not because it's a different layout or interface, but literally you have to just stop and go, There's a little bit of that. Especially with how, if you don't set your section or your containers to stretch, you get like you get a bit of a gap. Yeah, Carapos, totally. I totally agree with you. And I made clear in the video that if I was on my monitor, I wouldn't have that issue. Richard, you need to clean your mouth out, bringing in words like Dreamweaver, CS3 into this, and PHP. Go wash your mouth out, my dear friend. But there will be a video coming out on Monday. So I need to finish recording it today, basically. But there is a video coming out on Monday. Just change the lights here a bit. There is a video coming out on Monday where it's my first time, and I mean it. It is the first time I install bricks without even looking at any videos or tutorials. I go straight in. What do I see, right? Can I ask you guys all a question? Can I ask you a question? I'm thinking of getting a board that I can put up now and again, which is a white board that will go here. So now and again I have the black layout, and then I have a big board. It's a white board that will go here. What will I have on the white board? I don't know yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. Do you think that would look good? Over here. A white board. What do you think? And that's my thinking what Peter says. So I built and handed over a website to people in their 70s and 80s, an age charity. They totally got it. Hey, Worth to Worth Nation, how you doing, my main man? How you doing? Hey, don't forget, right, if you go to our website, okay, which is over there, we have our mastery modules. So if you want to learn a bit more about loads of stuff, you can do. And for people that were based in India, where they had an issue with PayPal, Stripe is now enabled as well. Okay, just go to the checkout and you can pay stuff like that. The only reason I'm not going to do a glass board, Peter, though, is because of the reflection, especially with this light here. In fact, let me just get rid of this. Like that, right? You know this light here? If I have a glass board, you're going to get a, that bounce, and you're going to get that whole glare effect kicking in over there. So I don't want to go with the glare effect. But what's your thoughts? So we have the black here, right? What if I was to get a whiteboard? Because the whiteboard, literally, I could just put it in, and there's a little bit of a gap here, just behind this shelf. There's a tiny gap. In fact, I don't even know how big the gap is. I've got to measure the gap. Okay. The gap is about 7 to 8 millimeters, right? I think it's about 7 to 8 millimeters. So I'm thinking I could easily get a board which is about 2 or 3 millimeters, right? A whiteboard, and then just have it. I could just slip it in, and it would completely cover this black wall now and again. Oh, really, Peter? You've got a milk layer. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Can you take a photograph? Can you email me a photograph, Peter, of like, it doesn't have to be a photograph of you, but just a photograph of with your lights on and your board. Could you do that? Just so I can have a look. Because I'm thinking like now and again, sometimes the black is okay, but for some videos I might want to put a whiteboard on. So literally by just putting on a board that I can just slide in, you can change the look of the room without redecorating, if that makes sense. Because sometimes I feel like the black is too dark. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I'm very pernickety about things like that. But please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts. Do you love the black? Would you like to have a bit of white as well going on? Because I would love to have a whiteboard that looks very sci-fi, so like with panels and just has a sci-fi feel to it. Because even that behind me, this is wallpaper, by the way, right over there. Let me just drop, like if I just drop the brightness a bit there kind of thing. It's okay, that whole wood paneling effect, but I do feel like a whiteboard might give a different look. But hey, this is just me. So like I said, people, on Monday there will be my first look at Bricks Container. Not Bricks Container, Brick Builder. Right? My first look at it. In terms of the settings, in terms of understanding things, and just working. In fact, the bit where I've now realised that, Carapace, I knew you'd say that. So right now where I've like got my head in a spin with why was it not wrapping properly or whatever, or the space, I will leave that in the video because I think it's important to demonstrate that I made a mistake. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that when I released the video, I still show off that, no, look, I made a mistake. You do need to add the container in because I missed that out. I think it's important to show. What do you think? Because we are only human, right? Do you think it's important to still show the problem I had? And the fact that all I had to do is drop a container in and do it like that. What do you think? What's your thoughts about that? I'd love to know your thoughts because I think it is very, very important. Do you agree with me? Hi? Do you agree with me? I think it's important, don't you? To show that I went on this path and then I worked it out. Not to criticise or say it wasn't clear, but because I made a genuine mistake. Because when I created the section, it actually did have... You know when you create a brand new section? Let me show you. Can I do it? Oh, this is weird. Why is it not working? Yeah. So what I mean is when you add on a brand new section, right? It actually has a container in there, and I took it out. Thinking, oh, I don't need it. But I should now show that I made a mistake. So hopefully it stops people from doing that as well. Oh, what? Do you mean these ones? Yeah, I mean, I have been thinking of taking these out. you know. I am thinking of taking them out and replacing them with something else. Not sure what yet. Well, to be honest, Eddie, all you said was it looks like a bathroom. I know for some people, they're going to think those objects are used for other purposes, which they are not. Okay? But Peter, I'm going to need something much bigger than that. I'm going to need something, right? So, a glass board. I'm going to need something that is, let me get this right. 1.3 meters tall by 1.6 in width. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Yeah, a PS5. I'm not sure, Eddie, if I'm going to buy a PS5 controller, which is about 50, 60 quid, and just dump it on my shelf. I think that would be a waste of money for me. But I will put something else up there. I just have to have a think about what. What could I put up over there? Maybe I need to get myself another mask. I've already got the Mandalorian. Maybe I need to get Darth Vader. Or even a different type. I tell you what. I love the Final Fantasy games, especially Final Fantasy VII. Cloud Strife. Who knows who Cloud Strife is? Final Fantasy VII, right? One of my favourite characters ever. I would love to get a model of him with his sword. The Buster Sword. The Buster Sword. I would love to have him with one of his big Buster Swords. I would love that. Eddie, you know when you say the challenge with the board, which board do you mean? When you say challenge with the board, Cloud. Yes, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. You know, in fact, let me put an image of him up here. He is Zanti. I played Final Fantasy VII in 1998. Oh my God. I was in 1998. I was 19 years old, and it changed. No, I wasn't. I was 18 years old. I was 18. No, I wasn't. I was 19. I was 19. It changed my life. Changed my life. Final Fantasy VII in just stories and games and complex narratives. Brilliant. So for those of you that don't know who Cloud Strife is, this is Cloud Strife, right? And he is, if you've never played Final Fantasy and all of that, you haven't lived, but he is an amazing, amazing character. And I think I would love to have like one of these models or something like that, a diorama or whatever you want to call it, on my shelf, but I've got to try and find something decent for it. I've got to find a model now. That's my mission. I've got to try and find a model for it. No, Final Fantasy X was Titus. I think Final Fantasy X, and I loved Final Fantasy X. I even bought the soundtrack album for Final Fantasy X. You're thinking of Tidus. Yeah, it was Tidus. You're thinking of Tidus. So Tidus, he was Final Fantasy X. Yeah, he was Final Fantasy X. And that I actually had tears in my eyes at the end of that game because I was so emotionally swept away by the fact that he just, you know, the way it ended, you know, I just like, it's like, hey, Pixar. Hey, Pixar. Now, I'm only going to be live I'm only going to be live for... where am I? Yeah, I'm only going to be live for about probably 10 more minutes. Right, get lost, Carapos. I am not doing Visual Composer, because if I do Visual Composer, I will lose all of my subscribers. People will be running a mile. They'll be like, forget this guy. This guy thinks he's like current and innovative and loads of other bullshit, but actually he's a pile of crap. Visual Composer. We are not doing that. Anyone who uses Visual Composer, if you like it, great, I love you, you're fantastic, but I will not touch Visual Composer with a barge pole, mainly because I like to keep my sanity sane. You know, I don't want to be hitting like, I don't want to be taking my brain down the gutter. In fact, I don't want to take my brain down the drain. Hey Richard, take it over, take easy. All right, take it easy, my friend. So I'm only going to be live for about 9 more minutes. And then I will be jumping back into my video. I've got tons of stuff to do, right? Like loads of stuff. I've got to get back into finishing off our videos that I'm creating, the bricks one. I've got to get back into editing loads of videos and helping out Bertha with potentially another video. I just got to think about how to do it, because it's going to be a very, very different style of video. And I want to try and get the storyboard for that worked out today, so I know what I'm doing. Hey, Christopher, how are you doing? Raheem's outside. He's playing on his bike. He's out on his bike. Yeah, I mean, I am going to probably put something there for like Web Squadron. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm reserving that spot for. One day I will hit 1 million views with YouTube, and then, you know, when you get like a plaque, that's where I want it to do. But yeah, by the way, so Christopher's asked a question, and everyone, I started doing my bricks builder video today. I got to finalize all of that, and then that will be coming out on Monday. Yes, Zanti, you're thinking of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, that's where you're thinking of it. Yeah. Am I going to do Gutenberg blocks and Gutenberg Press? No, not yet. I think it is still too early on for me. Too early on. I feel like maybe next year. I just don't feel the push to do it. You know? So the bricks video is coming out on Monday. I am still a passionate Elementor user, an Elementor abuser, an Elementor terror, an Elementarist, right? And even though, in fact, I'm not going to tell you what exactly my final conclusion is yet. I'll leave that for the video. But I feel at home with Elementor. You know, and maybe that's tunnel vision, but I feel at home with what I'm doing. I know I can just jump in and, like a client goes, oh, this ain't working. I can go, yeah, boom, 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 boom. I can even be formulating the solution in my head because I can see the interface, right, before I jump in. Christopher, what I will say is just wait until I've done the video, okay? Just wait until Monday, all right? Just wait. Not because I'm saying don't get it. I think afterwards you will still get it, but you know that when I do the video, because I'm so passionate about Elementor, I'm not biased, but I'm giving you a really honest opinion and how have I found it and stuff like that. Yeah, Zanti, that's what I mean. You know, like a client goes, I want da-da-da-da-da. Before you've even turned your machine on, you know, you go, yeah, we'll use that. Got this bit of code here, maybe. You know exactly what you're doing, and it just fits, doesn't it? And with bricks, I think you could get to that stage as well. The only difference is, because the settings are a bit different, you just got to kind of go, I'm not at the stage where I can visualize it, but that's because it's the first time I'm using it, right? I could say the same about Divi, Oxygen, Webflow, loads of other solutions. I can visualize Visual Composer. It's when I go to the toilet. That's Visual Composer. But that's what I mean, right? But right now I'm not there yet. Hey, take care, Peter. Thanks for popping on. Go and enjoy the Tour de France. Hey, Carapos, look. This Thursday, Paul from WP Tuts and I have our meeting with Verdi. It got delayed because of other stuff and whatever, but we have got it this Thursday. Pickstar, I agree with you. I think over time, the more I play with it, every now and again, I think I might get to a stage. But let me tell you something. The video I'm doing is not just about using bricks for the first time. I am going to build a hero banner as close to what I built with Elementor and then do a side-by-side test. There's no optimization. There's no other plugins except Elementor and Elementor Pro and Hello. Here you have just bricks. Literally clean website. They're totally fresh installations. What do you get? What do you get? I'm only joking about Visual Composer, Christopher Well. It's not my cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea. It's like Beaver Builder. You know? Who here actually likes Beaver Builder? I once worked on a website where someone had Beaver and Elementor, and I was going crazy. Like, what the heck is going on here? Why have we got Beaver and Elementor? And they wouldn't get rid of the Beaver. Oh, but it took so long. I don't care how long it took you. Move to a more efficient solution. Oh, but it took really long. Like, flipping heck. Forget this. Right, we are going to be cutting off in 2 minutes. Right, we're going to cut off in 2 minutes. I've just realised, no. Let me leave that there. Yeah, so in 2 minutes, we're going to cut it off. No, Artif, no. No. I do have a sneaky feeling, everyone, that a lot of the Elementor people weren't happy with what me and Paul said about Elementor. In that they accept what we said, but I think they have rather than accept that they've made problems, I think they're blaming people in their organization, which I don't like. And I want to make clear that we are not blaming individuals. We are just saying overall what Elementor need to do is give us a roadmap, be realistic with what they're going to provide when, and when you do updates, give us good, meaty updates. Don't just give us lackluster ones. And I just think that if I find out they are blaming people, I won't be happy. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like they are not acknowledging that we raised concern about the roadmaps. What are you doing? When's it coming out? Right? Not. Because I'll tell you now, Verdi does so much for Elementor. It's unbelievable. Suzanne Hope, Nicholas Zine, Ziv, who does the videos. All of the videos they did for the 1 minute YouTube shorts, I think they're brilliant. Have you watched the Elementor 1 minute YouTube videos and all of that? The amount of stuff they do, all of the people involved, I feel like the developers, the video promoters, all the stuff they do is so brilliant. And what I don't want is that they start blaming people because we've gone and said X, Y, Z. For me, right, that's more about We're not blaming. We're just saying we need transparency on roadmap, what you're going to release. And when you do an update, give us a meaty update. Give us something that's got, wow, that's cool. Because 3.7, who here thinks the 3.7 update was good? I didn't. I think you're right, Zanti. I think there is a bottleneck, but at the same time, so look, if we have to be really honest, okay, look how much noise there was about Flex Container, and we still don't have the beta version. Look how the galleries, the advanced gallery still does not work in Flex Container. Still. Look at the amount of noise they made about Static. Does anyone here still understand what the point of Static was or what it does for us? The fact it doesn't work with WooCommerce. Do you get that? Do you get where I'm coming from with it? You're making loads and loads of noise about something that, yeah, Atif, it was life-changing. It was life-changing the wrong way, not the right way, right? You make all this noise. It's all over the media. It's in all these articles. It was on Tech Radar. All these places, right? For what purpose? For what purpose? And then it goes quiet. The fact that Static doesn't work with WooCommerce. Come on, right? Come on. So for us, it's about thinking about what you do and what you release and all of that. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I think the WooCommerce stuff like that was good. The Stripe widget, that is all good. But the 3.7 update wasn't. I mean, I love Elementor. And the fact that whenever they do a beta update or anything, I'm one of the first ones to install and test. I'm like in there, boom, the minute I find out. Boom. When I saw what you got with 3.7, I just sat there going, my God, really? Really? This was more of a 3.6.9, not a 3.7. When you do a point number, the first decimal place, it's got to be a good update. It's got to be a mamma mia, right? Give me the meatballs, right? It's got to be a meaty update. So I hope we can talk more about that. Talk about the transparency, all of this stuff, right? But we're not blaming people. Let me make it clear. Verdi, Ziv, the other presenters, I can't remember their names. Tally, Yale, other people's behind the scenes, you know, all the moderators on the Elementor Facebook group who are doing it for free. My God, the moderators, right? They do such an amazing jobs. Amazing. And I'm fully supportive of what they do. And that's so what Carapos has said there, right? I do need to end in 2 minutes, in a minute. For me, it's about the roadmap, the promises, what are we getting? What are we getting? And the trouble you have though is that a lot of page builders now, I'm not going to use breakdance. I don't really give two shits about breakdance, but they're going to have mega menu, right? Other page builders are rolling out inbuilt mega menu. We need to have it in Elementor somehow. So I hope we get answers to some questions. Right, everyone, look, this is a short one. I hope you like. I hope you, if you're watching for the first time, make sure you subscribe. I'm really sorry it's a short one. I've got loads of stuff to do, right? So I got to get my stuff into gear and get on with it. You get me? Loads of videos to finish off and record, and I've got to edit, and then I've got to do some cover art and think about a storyboard for a Bertha video as well. It's not a new feature, Eddie, it's just a Bertha video. No one's to blame, everyone, all right? No one is to blame. And that's the point, Eddie. So it's a bit like, what if Bricks overtakes Elementor one day? You know? Yeah, today is a really long. I've got a feeling, I'm looking at the time now, I'm going to be working for the next 10 hours up until midnight, probably beyond. So yeah, take it easy, everyone. Look after yourselves. Go and have a wonderful meal, right? Spaghetti bolognese, something. Have some meatballs. Just go and have something. Ice cream. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. It is Saturday. I won't be enjoying life, right? I'm going to contradict everything I've just said. I'm going to be sat here recording videos, editing, and doing some cover art. Because that's just the way I roll. Look, everyone, I love having you all. Try a live stream at midnight. I do have to do some in the evening because a lot of people from America and the other side of the world miss out on the live chats, and they keep saying, please do one our time. I might do one. By the way, you don't have to all jump on when I'm on. Please don't feel like you got to. I know you don't all do that anyway. If you're on, great, pop in along, say hi. Let's see how I'm getting on with the videos and everything else that I'm doing. I love the community we have here, you know, and everything we do. Some people have said, why don't I do a Discord server? I think that's just too much to moderate, and I've got enough on. But we might open up our Facebook group. So we might open up our Facebook group for people to basically just join in. So you can continue having chats and stuff like that. But that's only if you want to, okay? There's no, you know, adverts or anything like that. But it's just for you to further on commentary. Right, everyone, I have to go. Take it easy, right? I got loads of things to do. Hey, if you've been holding off from... I know you do, RT. You're really bad. But if you've been watching this and you're desperate for the toilet, now is the time to go and open your guts and your bowels. Good day, lords and ladies. I'll see you. Bye, everybody.